welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we're back with another 16 color candy striped like bracelet with a little bit of a different spin on it. This time we're making boxes in the reverse part down the middle of the bracelet, and it's basically you're taking a candy stripe, the real simple, basic, most easiest friendship bracelet you can make, and giving it something to distinguish it from others. And I have to say, I really like the way this one turned out. So I was kind of on the fence the last time where I made the boxes, but there was only the outline to it. This time it's full on rows, making up these little boxes in between the lines that just shift off to the right. So I like to call these fancy candy because it's candy striped, right? Which is basically just knots going to the right. But it's a little bit more fancy because we add in these elements with knots going to the left. And as a result, we end up with a bracelet that's incredibly easy to make and looks really intensive. Like, for people who don't make bracelets and they take a look at this, they're gonna think, wow, you did something really amazing there, and it's unusual, it's different, it's fun to look at. So this whole bracelet took me about 68 minutes, so a little like an hour and 10 ish kind of range, which is pretty quick for a bracelet with 16 strings. So I imagine not everybody's going to be as fast, but it is easy enough that I think that you should be able to do this in a reasonable amount of time considering. But yeah, real simple pattern. Again, when I made the pattern for this, I just used our rainbow template, which had 16 different colors. I didn't need to alter it into this new 16 color thing. I just needed it to kind of make sure I knew what was happening, how many times, things like that, just to make it make more sense. And yeah, it worked fine. It was absolutely fine. When coming down after you made the diamond, you just stop on the last string that made the diamond, and then that, like in this case, I'm bringing down 3 rows, and then I'll make 3 rows going the opposite direction, and then I continue out the first ones, and then it'll come down for 5 rows and go backwards for those 5 rows, and so on and so on. So it just keeps alternating like that. It's really, I like this one so much better. I don't necessarily like the colors that were chosen for this one better than the last one, but I like the pattern better. And I think, Mandy and I both kind of agreed that, yeah, this was, we just tried to find like 16 random colors to throw together just to see what the outcome would be. Do they go great together? Not really, but it still came out fun and interesting and different and a little exciting, honestly. There were elements of it where the math sort of works out, because you have the row where there's 5 going to the left, and then you have the rows where there's 3 going to the left. That's 8, and there's 8 colors on either side of this bracelet. So there's times where you'll notice that the 3 in the middle are in like the next time it kind of comes around for 3, which is sort of neat. So like that pink, white, and green is in the middle square there. That comes down and becomes the row where the next middle square will be, which I thought was kind of fascinating. And then later on, it becomes the middle square again, the same exact ones. It just mathematically kind of comes out to being the same exact things. Fascinating, absolutely fun. This is like when you realize, like, oh, there was math involved, and it makes it interesting. And I hadn't anticipated that. I didn't notice that in the pattern when we were doing it, but I started noticing like, hey, these colors are doing something, you know, like while I was actually making it, like, hang on, is this seriously going to be in the stripe part? And yeah, sure enough, it is. And some of the squares actually repeat. In fact, that top square of 5, I just noticed it repeats 3 times. There's 3 times in the bracelet. I hadn't even picked up on that prior. That's amazing. Yeah, so this bracelet just became even more interesting. I didn't think that was possible. There you go. Yeah, the pattern will be available over on my website. You can go check that out. You can try this out for yourself. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I had to do this so badly. I was like just dying to make this project that I've kind of like put everything else on hold. This month was supposed to be all about blindside creations, and here we are starting with the same stuff I was doing last month. And I'm not even gonna feel apologetic about that, because it turns out this is really interesting. It's kind of cute, and I think you guys are gonna have some fun putting this together. The diamond that's just about finished there now actually repeats one more time in this bracelet. It's in the same exact sequence. It just blows my mind. The 3 colors that are in the long row where the pink, white, and green are, those other colors, that purple, dark blue, and a gray, those end up being the center of the next little diamond of 3. Like I said, it's just this weird, crazy math thing going on in this. It's just fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I kind of want to mess with like deliberately picking 5 colors of something and then 3 colors of something else, and like deliberately making it a little bit more silly. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna get on that right away, but I definitely want to do something with that. I'm not sure quite. Yeah, I think I will. I don't know if that's gonna be tomorrow's video or what, but yeah, I can see a possibility in this, and I want to try to make that happen. So yeah, inspiration comes from the most unusual places at times, and sometimes you just kind of have to go for it and do something fun. And I think there's a possibility of doing something really fun with this. I'm not sure, like, if I did a fade of 5 and then a fade of 3, like which direction to put the colors per se. I don't know. But yeah, I can see it already. Like well, you'd have to have 2 different sets of 5 and 2 different sets of 3. Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, yes, this will work. Just have to figure out like which kind of sequence to put those colors in to make them work as good contrasts for each other. So yeah, I think I'm on to something. I just have to figure out how. And yeah. Yeah, we're probably halfway-ish, I think. Maybe not quite, but still, let's just get this out of the way. Let me thank my YouTube members for making this possible. It's really encouraging to have people that believe in what you're doing so much that they're willing to throw a few bucks at you every month just to keep the channel supported. And yeah, it's my honor to keep the thing going, just to to show them that I'm worth the investment. So thank you guys so much. If you're interested in becoming a member, it's easy. There's a join button down there by the subscribe. Like I said, it's like $5 Singapore dollars. That's like $4 USD, and possibly some other number in your currency if you're in a different country altogether. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Every little bit helps, and it would be greatly appreciated. So thank you guys. I kind of feel like since I got into this little kick of doing these fancy candy bracelets that I kept thinking, nope, I've done everything I could do. I've made so many different videos on the topic. What else could I possibly do? And here I am once again doing something different and realizing, wow, this is potentially very, 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 very cool. I think in order to do it with the colors, like with the fade and stuff, I'll have to like make it 2 rows shorter, 1 row off the top and 1 row off the bottom, just to make it so I can line the colors up the way I want to, the right way. I think. It's so weird. Like, I noticed that there was some weird quirks with it, but like the more I study and look at the bracelet itself, the more I'm realizing like, oh, that's kind of fun. Yeah, I definitely want to do something interesting with this. So yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, leave it in the comment area down below, or join us over on Discord if you like. Discord just gives you the ability to share an image, you know, in case you have like a photo of a bracelet that you can't find the pattern for. I can help you with that. I just recently got a request about a bracelet. They wanted a bracelet that looked like the static on the TV, and as cool as that sounds, I have no idea like what the pattern was supposed to be. Is it supposed to be just this random black and whites and grays? And if so, like, I don't know. I wanted to help this person out, but like they don't have a photo or anything. So I have no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, if you have an idea what that was supposed to be, let me know. And maybe I can help somebody else out with an idea that I completely can't wrap my mind around. I've done all kinds of patterns, various things, chain links and all kinds of silly whatevers, but I have no idea what this person is hoping to achieve. Oh, this is once again though a good bracelet for like the colors getting used fairly evenly, so I had no problems with like some of the strings getting really short or anything like that, so that's pretty cool. Of course, I still use my strings. They're 1/3 length. I know that's kind of long for a project like this, but it's like the most efficient way I can cut my string to make sure that it's going to work for whatever bracelets I want to take on. So what else? When I was speeding this up, I was honestly thinking like, okay, how long should I speed it up for? Like how long should the video be? And I actually picked this speed of like 4 times because I thought that would leave me just enough time to kind of talk about all the stuff that I kind of noticed about this. And now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I could have gone a little faster still. Oh, my shoulder was still kind of bothering me a bit. That's why you saw partway through the video, I slid the board down a little bit further. That's why there's a gap at the top of the video. Turns out when it's a little bit lower like that, definitely not so bad on my arm. So, but I probably need to just give it some time to heal. But I don't want to fall behind in my videos either. So I'm not really. I don't like taking a break. If I haven't mentioned this before, I take 1 day off a week. Like in the schedule thing, it says 3, but only one of those days am I not working. And I kind of have to make myself walk away from it and tell myself that like clearing my head is good for productivity, seeing colors out in the real world, whether it's like dresses in a shop window or whatever, like being inspired by being away from my basic surroundings would help me. And some days it takes it's a little harder to convince myself that I should go out, but yeah, I like what I do. What can I say? I like what I do. I hope you guys like it as well, you know. Yeah, I can see it can have 2 different fades of 5s, and then 2 different fades or 2 different somethings of 3 colors. Yeah, I think that we're gonna make this again. And the more I keep thinking about it, the more it's like, let's just do it tomorrow and get it over with. It'll be fun. I just have to figure out what colors. And for this, I might play around with the graph paper just to make it a little bit more interesting, I think. If I had a fade of 8 colors, I might be able to do something really cool with that. I don't know. So many possibilities, guys. This is what keeps me going, honestly, is I see something being done a certain way or whatever, and like I suddenly realize like, oh, there's another way to do it. Might be more interesting, might be a lot more fun. And then I have to go and do it. Like I just have to. And it seems that we've had 30 plus years. So, and you know what else I could make? Yeah, so this is those 2 strings, the white and the green, are set off to the side because they are done. They don't get used anymore. There's going to be the box of the knots coming down to the left-hand side, and then 1 final row. And you will get the big reveal. What the whole bracelet looks like, which at this point I'd say pause it when you can see the whole bracelet and you can actually see how the different spaces keep repeating themselves. I think it's really fascinating. I've been doing bracelets a long time. I did not actually anticipate this. I didn't realize that, you know, the colors, of course it makes sense. It's 5 and 3. That's 8. There's 8 on either side. Perfect sense. Perfectly logic. Didn't see it in advance. Didn't even see it when I was generating the pattern. So, go figure. All right, guys. We are getting pretty much near the end. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, yeah, maybe do that too. That would be really cool. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.